Armageddon Steel Legions are the regiments of the Imperial Guard that fight as mechanized infantry alongside Chimera armored personnel carriers in defense of the strategically located Imperial hive world Armageddon and its surrounding star systems. Armageddon, located in the Segmentum Solar, was a planet blighted and poisoned by a millennia of heavy industrial output, but was also a major manufacturing center. In the 41st millennium, Armageddon became a constant battleground between the Imperial Guard's Steel Legion regiments and the countless Orc hordes of the war boss Ghazghkull MacUruk Thraka. Regiments of the Imperial Guard vary widely from one world to the next. Civilization, training, and technology levels wildly varied from one culture to another within the Imperium of Man, resulting in forces mounted on horseback and carrying spears next to elite troops bearing advanced grav shoots deploying from Valkyrie assault carriers. Within these parameters, large formations of mechanized infantry are very uncommon within the Imperial Guard. The reason for this rarity is that resources required to equip and maintain vast numbers of armoured vehicles are difficult to acquire, even for such personages as imperial commanders and planetary governors. Typically, gathering so many war machines also requires a pact or agreement with the Adeptus Mechanicus, for it is the tech priests and engine seers of Mars who ensure that these vehicles can operate and be repaired should they suffer damage in the heat of battle. The most well-known and renowned of the rare few mechanized infantry regiments in the Imperium are those founded upon the hive world of Armageddon. While some Imperial formations rely upon horses or other such conventional steeds, the Steel Legions of Armageddon ride into battle as mounted infantry within the hulls of their trusted Chimera armoured transports. The high numbers of Chimeras amongst the Steel Legion regiments is due to the highly industrialized nature of their homeworld. Armageddon is one of the foremost manufacturing planets for Chimeras and produces vast numbers of this vehicle for use across the Imperium of Man. So great is the Armageddon's output of Chimeras that an extremely high proportion of regiments raised from that world are mechanized infantry. These highly mobile forces are skilled at rapidly redeploying convoys of vehicles to engage the enemy. Often, the Steel Legion's vehicles simply overrun the enemy front lines, allowing infantry to dismount and sweep and the area clear of aggressors. The citizens of Armageddon are no strangers to brutal warfare. Their world has suffered greatly during the 41st millennium at the hands of invaders throughout no less than 3 devastating wars launched by the enemies of humanity. The Steel Legion played a major role in all of them. Few records exist of the event known as the First War for Armageddon, as much of it has been utterly purged by the agents of the Inquisition. Fragments that remain describe a world gripped by a massive demonic incursion. The foul demons of chaos were defeated only at a great cost by heroes such as the Great Wolf, Logan Grimnar of the Space Wolves chapter, and his valiant Space Marines. Some whisper that the world and many surrounding systems were purged in the aftermath of this invasion, and that the feared demon hunters of the Chamber Militant of the Inquisition's Audio Malleus, the Grey Knights, were somehow involved. Warboss Ghazghkull MacUruk Thraka, quite possibly one of the most charismatic and dangerous Orc warlords in the galaxy, led a massive war of Orcs to invade Armageddon, starting the Second War for Armageddon in 941 M41. Warp storms prevented Imperial reinforcements from reaching the embattled world, forcing Armageddon's defenders to fight alone against the green skin onslaught. Making things exceptionally worse for the defenders was the incredibly dangerous incompetence displayed by the planet's Imperial commander, Overlord Hermann von Straub. The war was costly, causing enormous casualties amongst the planet's population, and it was only due to the heroic efforts of the legendary Commissar Sebastian Yarrick at the hive Hades that the forces of the Armageddon were able to hold the line. Fortunately, other valiant Imperial forces were eventually able to make planetfall and support Commissar Yarrick and the Steel Legions, Space Marines from the Blood Angels, Salamanders, Ultramarines chapters threw back the Orcs in several engagements, and the Titans of the Legio Metallica fought bitterly with Orc Gargants across Armageddon's surface. In the end, the warp distortions blocking access to Armageddon abated, and fresh reinforcements arrived to help secure the planet's war zones. War boss Ghazghkull left Armageddon to gather his strength and plan a new invasion, vowing revenge against Commissar Yarrick. More than 50 standard years after the Second War for Armageddon, Ghazghkull McUrk launched a new onslaught against the planet. This time, Ghazghkull had made alliances with other notable Orcs, such as the fierce Nazdreg Ug Erdgrub and the diabolically clever mechboy Orchimedes. An enormous Orc fleet soon arrived in the Armageddon sector, smashing into the heroic but hideously outnumbered warships comprising the Imperial Navy's battle fleet Armageddon. While the Orc fleet arrived in the Armageddon system, Commissar Yarrick had taken command of the Imperial forces on Armageddon itself and hastily organized a plan to prepare for the coming invasion. The Imperium was not without its defenders. Titan legions, Space Marines, and the Sisters of Battle reinforced Armageddon's existing defenses alongside the forces of the Imperial Guard. Orc rocks, hollowed-out asteroids with crude steering mechanisms, smashed into Armageddon's surface and disgorged massive hordes of greenskins. Meanwhile, alien forces and heavy equipment, including many Orc Gargants and other impressive war machines, arrived directly on the planet via Orc's teleporter technology. After the initial assault, the Third War for Armageddon bogged down into large number of individual clashes between Orcs and Imperials. Frustrated by growing stalemates of the war, Ghazghkull left the planet to seek out other greater battles, closely pursued by Commissar Yarrick. Battles still rage upon the surface of Armageddon between both sides, with no end in sight. So far, Lord Marshal Ganzorek has deployed Armageddon Steel Legion regiments into only a handful of war zones in the Spinwood Front, in the periphery subsector of the Calyx sector in the Segmentorum Obscurus. These regiments have mustered at the world of Cyclopia to assist with the tithe preparations there to muster new Imperial Guard forces, and from there they were sent to the Departmentorum Munitorum depot on Ganf Magna to assist with operations against the feral Orc tribes plaguing that world. The Armageddon Steel Legion regiments operating on Ganf Magna recently received an unexpected benefit. Due to the bureaucratic error somewhere in the Byzantine organization of the Departmentum Unitorum, a large number of Deathstrike missile launchers were mistakenly routed to the Steel Legion mustering areas on Ganf Magna. The guardsmen from Armageddon have embraced this addition to their nominal strength and are relishing the opportunity to use such devastating weapons.